Thanks for coming over to this video on how to assemble a router table. Lay all your parts on the bench and get ready for the assembly. Let's go through the parts. The fence, the aluminium tabletop, various tabletop inserts, 3 feather boards, the legs to support it all, some extension arms, the on-off switch, and various nuts and bolts to hold it all together. Now let's grab one of the extension arms. It's best to be on a flat surface and just slide it onto the aluminium base. Grab one leg, place it in the corner, grab nut, bolt and washer and start fastening it off in the 4 holes. Repeat this another 3 times, remembering to grab the other extension arm before you put the legs on. Now we're going to put the router clamps on, and this you just need to do nice and loose in preparation for the router base to go on. Let's get the fence together. Grab some nuts and bolts and the lock-off knob. Put the bolt up from underneath. Grab a washer and a lock-off knob. That's our fence assembled. Now let's get the feather boards on. The feather boards are really cool to hold your material down, and they're quite adjustable. Now the last feather board for the base. Push the bolt up from underneath and grab the locking knobs. This is also very adjustable. There's no show without the power switch. Grab the nuts and bolts and just easily assemble on the front. You've got various choices for the router table inserts, so pick the right one for the router bit that you're going to be putting in and pop it into place. Now we've got the router table fully assembled. It's not much good unless you add a router. So now let's put this router in place under the bench. Now let's flip the bench over and start putting the router on. Line your router up in the centre of the hole, then swing the brackets around so they can clamp firmly on the base. Once you've got it all lined up, tighten up the nuts and bolts nice and tight so the router won't move. Plug the power in. Cable tie up any excess cables. Before turning it on, make sure your router bit's going to go through the router insert. Best practice is to fix it off to the bench so there's no movement of the table. There it is, the router's fully assembled to the bench. Before we connect some power to this, we just need to make sure that all of our other settings are just the way we want it for the project. Connect to the power, and then we're good to go to get stuck into those awesome projects.